YouTube? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. For more sanity, I want to talk about in this video a common excuse that you often hear from blacks, and particularly the race hustlers, because this is something that you often hear being hyped up by the race hustlers, and that being the Negro Bed Wench. So what is a Negro Bed Wench? Well, back in the days of slavery, you had supposedly, quote unquote, you had the slaves out in the field, sweating by the brow in the field, picking cotton, working their tails off, and you had the quote unquote house Negro that was in the house, right? Well, you also had the quote unquote Negro Bed Wench. These were black females, and I guess it's the female equivalent of the house Negro. Well, these were black females, and they were basically just like we had the house Negroes. Well, they were the bedroom Negroes. They were the blacks sleeping with the slave owners, quote unquote, spying on all the blacks and diming them out to the white man, to the slave owner. Every time blacks attempted to do something, if there was a attempted revolt or attempt to escape, the Negro Bed Wench was tipping the slave owner on while she was sleeping with him on any activity of the slave. Again, this is just more some type of historical crime or over other nonsense and nothing. Well, let's fast forward to today. Well, blacks are still crying about quote unquote Negro Bed Wenches, and again, particularly the race hustlers. And supposedly today, the Negro Bed Wench today is a black female who doesn't subscribe to the race nonsense, who's more conservative and leaning, and who's not crying about the white man and systematic white supremacy being held back. Any black female that fits that description would be called a Negro Bed Wench. Hell, even if they're not even sleeping with white people, sleeping with white men, they would be called a Negro Bed Wench. Why? Because they conflict with the race narrative, of course. And it's just the common excuse by blacks to demonize name call. And it's really no different from the coon Uncle Tom, Uncle Sambo, coconut sellout. It's the same thing, is that the whole Negro Bed Wench nonsense is pretty much the same thing as that. And one of the black females in America today who's commonly known for being called a Negro Bed Wench is Stacey Dash. Why? Well, because she's conservative and leaning, and supposedly I couldn't care less, couldn't care less, but she sleep with white men, so she's a Negro Bed Wench, even though she hasn't stopped one single black person in America today from achieving their goals in life. Okay, she's not the reason why her being conservative is not the reason why these self-inflicted problems exist among blacks. She's not the reason why niggas are killing and shooting. She's not the reason why we have such a high out-of-wedlock birth rate, why there's so much ghetto ratchet nonsense amongst blacks. She's not the reason why, and there's absolutely nothing that Stacey Dash has said has caused that, but we focus more on her being a quote-unquote Negro Bed Wench than these real self-inflicted problems in the black community. And that's one of the reasons why they never get solved. They never get addressed, because we're too busy focused on stupidity to address them. Again, there's absolutely nothing that Stacey Dash has ever done or said that's the cause of these self-inflicted problems. She didn't create the Great Society. Okay, she didn't put a gun to black people's head then to accept that Great Society. And men, okay, she didn't put a gun to the head forcing black men to leave the home, which has led to the destruction of the black family. But we focus on her and this whole Negro Bed Wench nonsense, which is just pointless foolishness that's completely and totally irrelevant to today. There's no Negro Bed Wench, quote unquote, today or in the past that's stopping any black person today from achieving their goals in life. But again, look what we focus on. Nonsense. And speaking of the quote unquote bed wench, I say we would have to be more concerned about these quote unquote race wenches, all these race hustlers keep crying about race all day. They are more of a bed wench than anything that Stacey Dash has ever said or done. They are the real wenches that keeps the real sellouts that's keeping black folks down. But again, y'all, this is just example of this utter pointless nonsense that blacks and this nonsense that's being perpetuated by all these race hustlers that keeps black folks fixated to focus on the white man, but never the black man. But just another excuse, common excuse used by blacks, and just something to think about, just inform, y'all. And as always, until next time.